how to understand people who speak English fast. Watch this video because I want to share 3 tips that will help you understand native and even non-native speakers who tend to speak a little bit faster than usual. If you don't know me very well, hi, how's it hanging? I'm Teacher Prix, and I'm going to help you talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime in English. Well, here on my channel, I help students at an intermediate level. Make sure to subscribe, by the way. Every week there's something new. And understanding native speakers who speak more quickly, who naturally speak more quickly. Because if you think about it, there are some native speakers who don't speak so fast. And at the same time, there are some native speakers who speak very, very quickly. So it's important to understand that there is a difference. Not all native speakers speak fast, but many do. And I know it can be quite challenging to understand those people. So if your goal is to understand those people who speak very quickly, then it's important to implement specific strategies to work on your listening comprehension, okay? And that's what I want to do today. So your first tip here, the first practice you're going to include is the speed practice. And you may already do this or not. I don't know who is watching this lesson. Let me know in the comments, by the way. But typically, when you watch a video on YouTube, and I am really focusing on videos here, okay, with this tip, with these tips. Of course, that you can use audio files. I don't mind, but I like to use videos. But you decide. As long as it's in English, with a non-native speaker, not with a native speaker, excuse me, then you're good to go. But what I want you to do is, I want you to change the speed and speed up the source of the file, the source of the lesson you're using. So let's say you picked a video on YouTube. This is a video I was watching to study English. I wanted to study the subject, so I picked this video. Very easy. To me, it is very easy. I don't know about you. It's a 7-minute video. Now, in my case, if I want to work on speed and improve my ability to notice native speakers speaking too fast and feel more comfortable, this is an exercise you can include. So when you find a video and right off the bat, you begin to listen and you notice it's slow, then this is the video you're going to speed up. Okay? So pay attention. It's not just any video, but you start watching a video for your listening routine. That's not the focus of this video. Here I am assuming you already have a listening plan. You know how to organize your listening routine. So based on that, you picked a video and you realize that video is not too fast. It's okay. That's the video you're going to speed up. Okay? And here, guys, as I mentioned before, don't simply increase the speed. You need a plan. You need to know what you're going to do. You need to work on comprehension, paying attention to details, detailed information, general information. How are you going to organize your listening practice? That's not the focus of this video. I just want to target speed. That's all this video is about. I have other videos here on my channel where I talk about coming up with a plan to work on your listening comprehension. Make sure to check it out. So here, guys, please, if the goal is to understand people who speak fast, for this exercise and the other exercises I'm going to recommend, do not use subtitles, because in life there are no subtitles. So for the purpose of this exercise, turn off the subtitles. You can use the subtitles later on, and I will tell you, but not at this moment. At this moment, you are testing your speed. Oh, can I understand more if I increase the speed, or do I understand less? Do I get lost? What happens to me when I make the video go a little faster? And another point you can include to challenge your comprehension is to stop looking at the person speaking. Okay? Later on, you can look at the person, but when you're doing this practice, you can close the person's face, not look at the person's face, because the body language, the facial expressions can help with comprehension. And if you're trying to increase your listening comprehension so that you can understand those fast people, then it's a good idea to avoid looking at the camera, looking at the video as much. Now, watch out. When you increase the speed, you will be really tempted to pause. You listen a little, and then you pause, and then you pause, and then you go, and then you pause, and then you keep going. I don't recommend doing that because in life there's no pause button. You can politely interrupt someone and ask them, hey, please, could you repeat that again? But you can't do that too many times in a conversation because it'll be strange. So even in real life, we have to pay attention. We have to be very mindful of how many times we tell people to repeat. So don't use the pause button as much. Otherwise, this is an empty practice because in life, people don't pause. Okay? So pay attention to that. So if the video is already too fast, don't follow this tip. So if the video is already bringing you the challenge of comprehension, then it's not the best video for you. So you don't need to change the speed if the video is already fast enough so that it challenges you, challenges your comprehension. But if it's a video that is already fast, 0.25, okay? You don't need to go further than that. As you can see here on the screen, when this is on YouTube, you find a video, you can increase the speed to 1.25, 1.5, 1.75, and 2. That's at 1.25, okay? 0.25 plus, the regular speed, and you're good to go. You don't need to go crazy with the speed. But again, if the video is already too fast, you don't need this. And watch out for pausing, for the instinct to pause the video. And keep in mind that while you're following this tip, you are following a listening comprehension practice. You need to pay attention to the content, analyze the information, take notes, organize your ideas, and later on, when you finish this practice, then you will use the subtitles to check your answers, to check if you understood the information in the exercise. Tip number 2, dictation practice. I really like this exercise. There are many websites. There are 2 options here. Again, I'm a YouTube fan. I use YouTube to study every day when I'm working on listening comprehension, when I'm working on several subjects. I like using YouTube. However, you can find other sources. You can find dictation websites for you to use. But I feel that these websites tend to offer really easy dictation exercises. So if you're trying to understand native speakers who speak too quickly, then using those really easy sources will not boost your listening comprehension, will not give you the challenge you're looking for. So at the end of the day, I would stick to YouTube because YouTube has a billion options of videos you can use, and many of them will bring the challenge you're looking for, native speakers speaking quickly, so that you can work on your comprehension. But there is a catch. A dictation exercise is short. You can't do a dictation exercise with a 30-minute video. You can use that video, but you will need to break it down to really small parts. Really small, because a dictation exercise is difficult, okay? Especially nowadays, because people no longer write anymore. People don't write. People only type. Can you do this exercise by typing? You can, but I recommend writing because when you write, you're exercising a different part of your brain that helps with memory. Yes, you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Now, what is the dictation if you don't know what it is? You play a video for the first 10 seconds, 20 seconds. I will give you instructions. And then you will literally write every word they say in those 20 seconds. That's dictation. We did this at school, older generations, right? Well, we had this exercise at school. The teacher would be holding a book and would dictate the text. And then we had to copy. Teacher, what did you say? Excuse me. Oh my God. We can't call teachers in the United States. We typically call them by their last name. We add Mr. and Mrs. I am aware of that. But culturally, for non-native speakers, it's very common to treat a language coach as a teacher. So I'm aware of that, okay, guys? But I like the word teacher. But don't call teacher in the United States or in Australia or in Canada. You deal with them by using their last name and Mr. and Mrs. But anyway, so that's dictation. So you will use a video on YouTube. Pay attention because this video must have subtitles. Because how are you going to check? And even then, guys, not all subtitles available on YouTube are correct, because most of them are automatically created, which means there are mistakes, but very few mistakes. Okay, very few mistakes. Some channels fix the subtitles, some don't. So it's free lessons, free content. It's the best we can do, and which is good. Okay, guys, the YouTube captions is really professional. They're really getting better at this. They use cutting edge technology to improve captions, so use it. Don't be afraid. So what are you going to do? You're going to pick short videos, but if you decide to pick a long video, you're going to use 20 seconds. That's it. For the dictation, 20 seconds. Oh, but Priscilla, only the first 20 seconds? No, you can decide. You can use the first 20 seconds, then you do the exercise. Finished. Move on to the next 20 seconds and focus on 20 seconds. Finish, move on to the next 20 seconds, and so on and so forth. Okay? This is the video that you will need to pause, because here the practice is different. I am doing a dictation practice, and if you let the video keep going, you will waste a lot of time, especially because it's hard to find 20-second videos. So you pause and you go back and you start over. That's what I mean. That's the pause purpose here. So you listen for the first 20 seconds, go back, start again. Listen to the other 20 seconds, go back, start again. That's what I'm trying to say. So I picked this video, for example, it's 1 minute and 57 seconds. I can start with the first 20 seconds and do this practice. And here, guys, really repeat as many times as you like, as long as you are available to do this exercise, you can. Of course, that at some point you will have to stop, because I have other things to do. You're not just working on your listening, you have other activities to do. But for a dictation exercise, because it's 20 seconds, you can repeat more and more times. So you can repeat this 10, 20 times, and it's okay, because the purpose is to familiarize your ears with someone speaking quickly and you taking notes of what you understand. And after you decide it is enough, then you turn on subtitles and you check. Okay, so you can repeat this practice as many times as you like, my friends, and I know you're gonna like it. So here, you will notice, and I am telling you this in advance, I don't want to fool you, this is difficult. If you choose proper material, then it's difficult. If you choose something easy, then it's gonna be a walk in the park, okay? So pick wisely. These videos, I'm going to leave these video recommendations in the description, but you cannot use the beginning anymore because I already picked. So in the first 20 seconds, look at how much information there is. I'm going to read for you guys. Ask anyone who has ever tried to run consistently. It takes some impressive mental gymnastics to get from 1 mile to the next. So if you need to distract yourself from the very fact that you're running, here are some mind games you can play to make time fly by a little bit faster. But first, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and stay tuned for all other tips and tricks for how to do everything better. So this is what she says in the first 20 seconds of this video. Now, if you pay attention, if I am talking to intermediate students here, there are not many new words. Extremely advanced, different, unusual phrasal verbs. But because native speakers tend to speak more quickly, and remember, no subtitles. You can say, oh, but it's easy. Yeah, but no subtitles. Remove every possibility of subtitles. Don't look at the person's mouth. That's where this gets challenging. So I recommend that you try, okay? So these are the words. You will see that in many cases, you will not find many different words. But if you do, it means you need to do vocabulary work in that practice, by using that video. And before I go on, make sure to subscribe to my channel. As the woman said, she said it in her video, and I'm going to say it in mine likewise. Make sure to subscribe because I have many other lessons here on my channel. And if possible, you can support this channel by sharing this video with a friend, because I know many people need to improve their listening comprehension and they need better tips to help them keep going. And if you want more. I have my study plan cycle that helps people who study alone follow an efficient study plan, and also my listening mastery workshop that helps you understand the best practices you need to follow every time you work on your listening comprehension. Now, tip number 3, shadowing. I love shadowing, and I will give you some recommendations for shadowing practice. But what is shadowing practice? Shadowing practice is to pick a video with subtitles or an audio file with the transcript, and I will hit play. And while the speaker is speaking, I will do my best to follow the same speed and the same intonation while working more intuitively on pronunciation. Because when you do this exercise, you're not learning the technical aspects of pronunciation. I am well aware of that. That's not what we do. But it is a very intuitive exercise. It's a great way to work on your pronunciation and intonation. So I strongly advise you, give this a try, okay? So what are you going to do? You're going to pick an audio file or a video file that you find difficult. This has to be difficult. If you pick something that is too easy, what is my goal here? Why am I telling you pick something that is difficult? Well, you wanna understand native speakers who speak fast, right? This is pointless if you pick a file that is easy. It has to be something more difficult. And you're going to work on shadowing, because oftentimes it's not only vocabulary. People think, oh, I don't understand because of my vocabulary. In many cases, it's not only because of vocabulary, but because of the way native speakers connect the sounds when speaking. So in spoken language, they connect the sounds, they eat up the sounds. So this is something to work on. And while you're checking the subtitles and working on shadowing, of course you're going to check vocabulary, because I'm not saying vocabulary doesn't play a role. It does. But here my main focus is to work on comprehension. So you can use subtitles, you can use videos that have subtitles. Here I am encouraging you to use the subtitles, because the goal is I'm going to pay attention to the speaker's intonation, how they connect the sounds. In this case, if you need to pause, you can pause, because you're really paying attention to how they connect the sounds. So you see different exercises for different purposes. Here, I want you to become familiar with the way they connect the sounds and improve your pronunciation at the same time, which is a very important exercise if you want to speak English fluently, because part of fluency is being clear, not perfect, but being clear. Now, 20-day recommendation. What is my recommendation based on this video? Well, I believe 21 days is a healthy number of days to show you the possibility of changing. It's not that in 21 days you will change your life and everything is going to be perfect and dandy. That's not what I mean. But in 21 days, you will notice improvement. You will notice something is happening. That's why I recommend following this practice for 21 days. So what are you going to do? You're going to have a daily, depending on how often you study. If you study 3 times a week, 3 times a week. 5 times a week, 5 times a week. In my case, I study 3 times a week. Were I to do this exercise, I would do it 3 times a week, 10 minutes daily. So dictation practice, at least 10 minutes, no more than that, okay? If you want to do more, you're welcome to do more. But you see, it can be tiring to do this exercise. Speed practice, you're going to pick one video every 2 days. If you study every day, you don't need to pick one new video every day, okay? Because remember, you have to do other comprehension exercises and not just speed practice, okay? So watch the video, take notes, study the content, and follow a listening routine. So here for this speed practice, you need to have a solid study routine, a solid strategic plan to work on your listening comprehension. As I teach my students in my academy, as I teach here on YouTube, it's not only listen. That's not how it works. And finally, shadowing. Work on shadowing every day. Every day. So you study 3 times a week, 3 times a week. You study 5 times a week, 5 times a week. In every practice you have, you should include a little shadowing. And it's easy to find sources. They may not be perfect, but they are totally available. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Share this lesson with a friend. But other than that, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!